What's up, guys? Welcome to the 90th Academy Awards preview show. That might be renamed in YouTube, by the way. I'm not sure. But I'm going to start with some fun facts, just general fun facts about the Oscars, the Academy Awards. Some confusion there. We'll get into that. So most nominations, Shape of Water with 13. Dunkirk got 8. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri got 7. Highest grossing film, Dunkirk made the most money. Get Out was like right behind it, slightly. And then The Post was third, but like $100 million less. So like a huge drop off. I was actually surprised to see that Dunkirk was number 1, but I don't know. This is a little sort of tangent or whatever, or tangential detail. How do you say that word? You don't want to give it a shot?
Tangential?
Is that how you say it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Little fact or whatever, but Christopher Plummer is the oldest nominee at 88, your boy. And we'll get into that too. I know you like him. And then Timothy Chalamet, I think is how you say his name. He's the youngest Best Actor nomination, not ever, but since 1939. So like there was like, and I feel like how many movies? It must be like 3 movies a year back then. I don't know. So he's the youngest since 1939. He's 22 years old. He's in that movie Call Me by Your Name. Christopher Plummer, of course, replaced Kevin Spacey in All the Money in the World. Crazy story because it was so late into like the production of that. They did it in 10 days or whatever, so that's crazy. But I'm not here alone. I'm here with Monica Plucker, who is first and foremost my roommate. She's been on other disorderly stuff before, I think, here and there. We actually just we did a whole February in review, and I butchered it, so that's gone. You'll never hear that. But she's been on the show before. She has a very unique set of pop culture like knowledge, which is to say like hardly any. But it's unique if you dive into it. It's just you're one of a kind because you're not like a dummy. It's not like you're like, well, I don't understand the world around me. You just have somehow like not absorbed any pop culture knowledge in your entire lifetime to the point where what you know is almost, it's just stuff from like the 60s and 70s. Like it's crazy. Do you think that's odd? Do you want to say hi, by the way? Because I feel like I'm just talking about myself.
Hi.
Okay. So just a few examples. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm literally just trying to paint a picture. I'm dead serious. Just to paint a picture. And this is, once again, if anything, the person that's dumber for knowing this stuff is like me. It's not tangible. I mean, I'm trying to turn it into a career or something, but for the most part, it's like I'm kind of wasting my time knowing this stuff. You're probably focusing on more important things in life. So did not know that Thor was a movie or even a superhero. That was a conversation. I came back.
No, I knew he was the god of thunder.
Right, the god. But you didn't know there's superhero comics after him. And then, or like 4 or 5 different blockbuster movies that are on. Right. So I came home from Thor one time, and your reaction was like, I don't know what that is, which is crazy. Never heard of Daniel Day-Lewis, correct?
No.
Which anyone listening to like an Oscars preview podcast is probably fairly familiar. And then has heard of Woody Harrelson, but knew his face and not his name.
Right. That
was something that we discovered last night. So just to paint a picture, needless to say, this is not going to be like a traditional Oscar preview. It's going to be more fun. We are, if you guys just subscribe to the channel or go to the website or whatever, thedisorderly.com. We're doing, I think, an instant react. I don't know if I told you this, but you're not doing it. I don't expect you to stay up late. You're an early bed person. But we're doing an instant reaction to the Oscars. So I think I'm Nick Rizner, by the way. I'm so bad at like introducing. I'm sure it's in the description. But I'm Nick Rizner. It's going to be me, David St. Martin, the founder of the website, and then his friend, Andrew Volpe. I think the 3 of us are going to do like an Oscar like recap video immediately after the Oscars. So whether it's up there right away or the next morning or whatever, it'll be fast. And that'll be, just because we're more movie buff type people, that'll be more of like a traditional recap of, the films or whatever. But this will be a little bit more fun. So let's get to it. So first of all, I'm going to start with, we'll start with this because this is unorthodox. The worst major nomination of the entire year, for sure, like just review wise, but it's actually nominated for a major award, is Boss Baby, which got nomination for Best Animated Feature Film.
We babies are having a crisis.
Oh no, that's awful. Horrible. What is it?
Well, it's simpler if I just show you. Teddy, if you please.
Let's put on a show. Here we go.
Jimbo, hit the lights.
All right, so I feel like my memory is that we talked about this before, but I'm not sure. What is your familiarity with this movie? Don't you have like patients that love it?
I specifically remember one patient who really wanted to see it.
And not to interject, but Monica's like a nurse at a children's hospital. So go ahead.
Okay, so I remember him talking about it all the time, and it was a patient I had a lot. So I heard of the movie, but I don't think he ever saw it, as far as I know. And then I don't I've definitely never seen it.
Yeah.
And no kids talk about it now that it's out. So I feel like it must not have been great.
Well, it's all right. So I meant to write the scores down, but I didn't. But I know like the Rotten Tomatoes score, just because it's fresh in my brain, is like a 55% or something. And it's nominated for an Academy Award.
Wow.
Like that's insane.
Yeah.
The fact that it's like, oh, and just to clear that up, I wasn't going to bring it, but there's some people get confused. Oscars and Academy Awards are the same thing. I'm not going to name names. So, yeah, we learn things new every day. So,
Every day.
But I don't know, like you, I'm sure you know lots of things I don't know.
I'm sure.
We'll get to it. Actually, I got a little trivia thing for you later, which you can almost see if I keep holding my notebook with this. So don't look. I'll be honest. The trivia questions I ask you, I think you'll know them. I kind of tailored it to you, but I also think that, or not think, I know that I didn't know any of them when I was looking it up. So
Okay.
see, we all have our own unique knowledge. All right, so that actually bridges it to the next thing I had written down. So Boss Baby is terrible from critics. I've never seen it either, but I heard it's really bad. I think basically they had trouble finding like 5 animated films to nominate. Like from what I hear, Coco is like really good and deserves an Oscar, but the other one's still like, oh, we got nominated for an Oscar, and they probably didn't deserve it. So my question to you, as somebody who works with kids, what's like the hot movie on the streets? What's like the new movie that kids are the newest you can think of? Because I know like Frozen is obviously huge. It might still be the biggest movie. Like what are kids watching now?
I can't think of anything that's like new and great, but kids are still really stuck on Moana. So it was like Frozen for a huge chunk of time, and it's still.
When did that? Is that from? I thought that was from 2017.
Moana?
Yeah, it can't. It has to be the year before.
Maybe 2016.
Because there's no way it wouldn't have been nominated. It must have been nominated last year.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but definitely that's still a thing. Kids still really like those songs. They're not sick of them yet, but a lot of them are like sick of Frozen. You'll play it and they're like, eh. But they want to
Like
hear
even
Moana.
little kids?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be. That's almost the best. I know you're in a weird job where like you actually see the kids watching the movie, but in general, people must kind of know what like the new movie is based on what songs like kids are constantly obsessed with.
Yeah. Moana's a good one. It had good music. So did Frozen. I think that really makes a Disney movie or an animated film.
Oh yeah, Frozen's old. Like
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, well, I have a very specific memory, not to get too sad on people, but with my ex-girlfriend, I remember like specifically one of the last times we hung out, we like rented Frozen or something, and it was like new. It was like relatively a new rental or whatever. So like that was a while ago. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, I wrote down a review. This is just like a quick like Rotten Tomatoes review of this guy, or of Boss Baby by this guy David Ehrlich from IndieWire, and he wrote, "The Boss Baby might pacify kids, but this dirty diaper of a movie is further proof that Hollywood animation is in need of a change," which is 3 baby puns if you count today, because we got pacifier, dirty diaper, and in need of a change. So it's like really, really just high level criticism. And also a movie that has a review like that is like nominated for an Oscar, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
They call it a dirty diaper of a movie, and they're going to read their name. It's a major award too. It's like one of the big ones, like a best animated feature film, because the winning it's cool, but I don't know. So moving on to the film that received the most nominations this year, The Shape of Water, which, as we've talked about multiple times, is the movie where the girl falls in love with the fish.
Mm-hmm. If you look at this, look, some of the best minds in the country peeing all over the floor in this here facility. There's pee freckles on the ceiling now. How they get it up there? Just how big a target do they need, you figure?
Actually, this isn't what I was going to look up before, but I'll do it right now. I want to show you what this guy looks like, first of all. Fishman. Shape of Water.
As a fish?
It's like a new species. So it's not like a man that turns into a fish or vice versa. He's like
it's not an actor?
It is, but he's like a fish man. Yeah, I'm going to show you in costume, I guess. It is played by an actor.
Okay.
So here is the fish man. We'll just leave that there for you. That's what he looks like, all right? Mm-hmm. My question to you is, would you ever date a fish man?
No,
Okay.
probably not.
But what if he's like a really nice guy? Because it seems like this lady probably would have said the same thing until she fell in love with a fish man.
Right.
So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I see some. I really like being outside in the sun, and I feel like he might dry up right in front of me.
But he can be in the water like waving.
Yeah,
you like the beach.
I know, but I really like the sun.
Okay.
So I think someone drying up next to me might be a deal breaker. But
I mean, it'd be inconvenient at the very least. He'd probably be complaining.
Yeah.
I'm drying. Put me in the water.
I'm so dry.
Yeah. I could see how that'd be unfortunate. Now, this lady, I'll just read you the whole paragraph from her review. And she's a comic, and it's supposed to be funny, but just, here you go. First of all, she thinks that there should be, her name, Jamie, I wrote it somewhere, I could probably scroll up too, but Jamie Loftus. And she wrote, I don't know if you heard of Paste Magazine?
No.
Me neither, but this is pastemagazine.com. So it's one of the first links that came up, so I didn't have to dig deep for it. She thinks there should be a special award at the Academy Awards for extraordinary achievement in being hot. Okay? And it's because she thinks the fish guy is hot. And her paragraph, it's the whole article, but the paragraph, and by the way, it's supposed to be funny. It's still weird as shit, and I'll explain later, but so this is the paragraph. It says, "Hello, my name is Jamie Loftus, and for the past quarter century, I have prided myself on never wanting to fuck a fish. After seeing the fish in the shape of water, I'm no longer able to say that, and if someone doesn't at least get a trophy for that, I'm going to call the police on myself, because I don't think I can go to Red Lobster anymore without tearing my clothes off and launching myself into an aquarium." So, funny paragraph. It's actually a really funny article if you read the whole thing. But some people are into this fish. I don't really know the situation. Granted, you didn't see the movie, but it's pretty gross. There's a couple sex scenes. If you want to see a human female have sex with a fish man, you can go see this. And I feel like, and I think I don't know how, we've lived together for 2 years almost or whatever. I feel like I have a pretty wide range of interest in movies and TV. I'm not very easily closed off. Something that you would be like, that's weird, I'd be like, I don't know, it's cool. I see the symbolism, whatever. This movie weirded me out. And the fact that it's a front runner for winning Best Picture, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's weird. It's a whole weird movie about, it's weirding me out. And I'm not closed-minded at all with any, I see the artistic side of things or whatever. I remember being in theaters and being like, it's long sex scenes, not super graphic. They're kind of tasteful with it, but I was like, this lady's gonna fuck that fish. It's weird. It's weird. It's hard to watch. So I don't know. It's not my thing. The other thing from this, just because you're an advocate of hand washing, big advocate, I feel like it comes up all the time. There's a specific hand washing scene in this movie, which you guys just saw a clip. I wish I could find the clip that actually had this in it, but the clip ends right before that, so I cut it short. But the Michael Shannon, do you know who that is?
No.
I think you might recognize him, but Michael Shannon's an actor in the movie. He's the FBI guy investigating whatever. Or maybe he's in the military. I don't remember. But he comes into the bathroom as the two ladies are cleaning it. They're janitors at this laboratory. He comes into the bathroom and says, "Oh, don't let me interrupt." Washes his hands, goes to the bathroom at the urinal, and then walks out and doesn't wash his hands again. And they say, he says, "I wash my hands before I go to the bathroom, not after." I forget the exact quote, but it's something like that. And he's like, that says a lot about somebody, and it shows a lack of character if you wash your hands twice. So he's saying he washes his hands. Now, to be fair, I assume that's a general policy for him, and it seems like, so this is a urinal, right? So you got it's a whole thing. You can't miss. But if you're peeing in a toilet, you gotta use your hands down there a little bit. Now, he, in this scene, has his hands on his hip. So he washes his hands, and it doesn't touch anything except for his zipper, and then he walks out. Is that kosher? Is that cool or no?
What about the door? What about...
Well, you touch the door on the way out anyway, right? After you wash your hands.
You're not supposed to.
You're supposed to. I know the proper method. I actually do it all the time in public bathrooms. So, I'll go to the bathroom, and then I'll wash my hands, and then... No, you get the paper towel going before, right? Unless it's got, one of those wave things. But if it's got a handle, you get the paper towel going before, you rip the paper towel. Wait. You have it hanging out, right? And then you wash your hands because you already touched the handle to turn the sink on. And then you rip the paper towel while the sink's still running. Shut it off with the paper towel in your hand so you don't actually touch the handle again. And then open the door with that and then kind of prop the door open with your butt or whatever, or foot, and then throw it in the trash and then leave so you don't touch anything after, right?
Yeah.
He didn't do that. So.
Well...
But my whole thing is...
Proven fact, number one way to prevent infection is hand washing.
Mm-hmm.
Just
But he still goes into the bathroom and washes his hands. But he does it before he goes to the bathroom.
Okay.
Which seems like the only issue there is if you're handling yourself. But I do think... He didn't in that scene, but I feel like it's a general policy where he probably just does that all the time. So I feel like it's still probably not kosher. If you're in a toilet, a toilet on the ground, you can't... You got to aim it. So, there's got to be, so, I don't know. Pretty weird. Anyway, that's one of your take on the hand washing scene. We'll move on to the movie that made the most money this year, which was Dunkirk, which is actually kind of surprising to me. But I actually want to show the whole trailer for that, so we'll do that now, just because it's like the most visually pleasing movie in the entire nominee category. So here's the entire trailer for Dunkirk, and then we'll talk about it after.
The enemy tanks have stopped.
Why?
Why waste precious tanks when they can pick us off from the air like fish in a barrel?
There are 400,000 men on this beach.
He's coming back round. He's coming back round!
Where are we going?
Dunkirk.
I'm not going back.
There's no hiding from this, son. We have a job to do.
If we go there, we'll die.
You can practically see it from here.
What?
Home.
All right, so that, of course, was directed by Christopher Nolan, who is one of the few directors that you were like familiar with, correct? I feel like when we were going through the directors, you said that you knew who that was from the Batman movies and stuff. Maybe.
Oh, the guy with the mustache.
No.
Oh.
Director. Who are you talking about?
I don't know any directors.
Who would show you the mustache?
The guy from Batman.
No, that's Gary Oldman. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
All right. I feel like you're in a rush. You're like, oh yeah, I know that guy. And I was like, okay. So Christopher Nolan, he's the guy that directed all three of the Batman movies, like the Heath Ledger one, like that trilogy or whatever. What was that? What reaction? What you do so many things that no one can. There's no cameras in here. You gotta like.
It's not meant for a camera.
Oh, it's just meant for
It's
me.
my natural reaction.
Oh. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on this because I thought it was like, I don't know what it'll win. I think it has a shot at best director because it's so like visually pleasing, but I feel like it's not going to win any major categories. But I loved it. So I was going to UFC Rhode Island with Jordan, and there's like a movie theater right near there, and we just like had hours to kill before the card started. So I just like saw it in theaters, and it was awesome. I actually don't know if it would translate to DVD.
What movie?
Dunkirk. So it's like a World War II movie. The thing I liked about it is so many war movies are like crazy explosions and like people running through like take cover, like shoot, cover me, like things like that, and that's fine too, but that's all they are. This is like slow pace, but like in the middle of war because they're like stuck on a beach. The story is generally, I'm going to butcher this, but for the most part, it's all British troops. Nazi Germany is like invading, and they have this one like little stronghold or two, I guess, of like this last little like beach front that they can kind of like land troops on. And one of them was Dunkirk. So what happened was all these troops are stuck on the beach. They got pushed back to this beach, and literally the German planes are like flying over and just like bombing them, and just like refueling. And as soon as they have more fuel, going through and bombing them again. So they're just like on this beach, like waiting. They're coming back, and they're just getting bombed like crazy. And they got like it's just infantry on the beach. So what they decided to do, Winston Churchill, which is actually surprisingly, so Dunkirk's nominated. The other one's nominated is Darkest Hour, and that's the one with that guy from Batman playing Winston Churchill. And in that movie, he's like making the orders for Dunkirk. They're completely separate movies, same year. Just weird.
Wow.
Yeah, but so what the order from Winston Churchill was to have like civilians, like gather all the civilians that are on that water who have boats, get them in their boats and have them ship over and like rescue these young boys from the beach, like in a war zone. And like they had like the longest, it's like the biggest like civilian operation ever, where they have all these people on like literally like yachts and cruisers and speedboats and whatever, like going over and rescuing these kids. It's a crazy story. So it was a really good movie. I loved it, but I just wanted to give some like love to it because I don't know what it's gonna do. Also, shockingly, I mean, you've seen the Batman movies. Also, shoot, what else did he direct? Inception, Interstellar, like really good like directed movies. This is his first nomination, which is
I saw
crazy.
one Batman movie.
Just the Heath Ledger one?
Yeah.
Oh, you should watch the other two. They're really good. All right. So, if anyone wants to check out Monica's Oscar picks, they'll be on the disorderly.com amongst this. They will be, by the way. So you're part of the staff. So that's
Perfect.
and it's right now, I don't know if we're going to get the other two like staff members, but it's David St. Martin and his wife, Ash, me, and you right now. So we'll see. You're an official. You provide like an outside opinion. By the way, I told you stumbled into some like really correct prediction. I like looked it up and like some of the picks you made, people are like, "Here's why this person's going to shock the world and do that." And I was like, "I'm sure that's what Monica was thinking." So that'll wrap it up for a specific movie conversation, and then I'll have very specific questions tailored to Monica to wrap this episode up. Number one, I'm just curious. I don't even know if this ties into anything else. It's just like me wondering, so I'm going to ask, what was the last like entire movie beginning to end that you watched? I can think of one if you got nothing, but I don't.
Okay.
The one I'm thinking of is pretty old. So. By the way, I don't even necessarily mean in one sitting.
Oh, okay.
As long as it's like you watch the whole thing.
What are you thinking of?
La La Land on the plane. That's the last thing I think of.
Oh, okay.
You watched something since then?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Once again, just trying to establish this before I move on with.
I don't know.
This is the fun
Sorry.
preview. No, don't be sorry.
Probably not.
I think it's La La Land.
Yeah,
That's
it
kind
might
of what
be.
I'm trying to say. Like I remember I called my dad with just like the general concept for this thing or whatever, and I was like, the reason I'm going to ask this because there's a really good chance that she hasn't seen a single movie in 2017. So that's why from 2017.
18?
Both. I mean, most of
What?
the Academy Award nominations.
When is La La Land from?
16 for sure.
No way.
I'd have to look it up, but it was
man.
it was nominated for like the last Oscars.
Yeah.
So it either came out in the very beginning of 2017, or I might as well look it up now.
That was a long time ago.
No, you didn't watch it in like theaters. You watched it on a plane, so it was probably after it had been out for a while. So it might not have been that long ago when you actually saw it. Yeah, 2016.
Oh.
So that's all right. It's been about a year and a half since you've seen a movie, a new one. But that's okay. So,
Yeah.
all right. So this is more tailored towards you. In honor of what's his name? Christopher Plummer, who is your boy because you're a big fan of Sound of Music.
Oh, yeah.
Correct? I have some Sound of Music trivia for you.
Okay.
And I think you'll get... I don't know. I didn't know any of these. I tested it on my mom, who also likes Sound of Music a lot. So, and she did okay, pretty well. So, like, I think... Because I'm literally coming up with questions being like, I don't even know how hard these are. Really, I have some idea, but not really.
Okay.
So,
I haven't seen The Sound of Music in a long time.
All right. I think you'll get some of it. Question number one. What country does it take place in?
Austria.
Correct. A little bonus add on to that. Near what mountains?
The Alps.
Very good. Question number two. True or false, The Sound of Music is based on a true story?
True.
Okay. Calm down. You know that you're going to like fight me? I don't know what's going on. Question number three. Can you name... I'll set the bar at 4, but can you name at least, if not all, can you name 4 out of the 7 Von Trapp children?
Liesel.
That's 1.
Kurt.
2.
Greta.
No, but
Gretel.
Yes, my dad said Greta. And
You're right,
I was
it's Gretel.
Yeah, Gretel. That's right. I didn't tell you that. You got it. That's 3. This will be interesting, by the way. I mean, if you're watching this, you'll already see. But I'm thinking about doing like a series of pictures because you can upload pictures with audio. So I'm thinking about having pictures of all the list and almost like putting a check next to the names as you say them. I feel like that'd be cool. People will know as it goes, but go ahead.
Give me a minute. I have a bad memory.
Fast. I know. Oh, this is actually a very interesting juxtaposition of not knowing a lot about movies and having bad memory. But I picked a movie you do know a lot about, I think. The fact that you already got 3 is like, I mean, you haven't seen a movie in a year and a half. So this is, I think I picked the right movie, but As a reminder, you got Liesel, Kurt, and Gretel.
Is Louisa one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you already got your 4, but do you want to stop there, or do you think you can get the other 3? I can cut out the pauses to make you sound smarter. No, I won't. This is unedited. That's how smart she is. That's like rapid fire, like 1 through 7, fast. Yeah.
I can't remember. I'll know them when I hear them.
All right. Well, you got it.
Give me like a little help.
I said 4 to 7. Well, there's one more boy.
Yeah, I know.
Starts with an F.
Friedrich.
Yes. And 2 more girls. B and M.
Marta.
Yes.
Give me the second letter. E.
R.
Brigitte.
Yeah. Now, I will say, I think this might be like, oh, wow, she knows. You'd have to know Monica to fully understand how shocking, because your trivia, you and we do trivia all the time, which I thought would be a good combination of like, you love Sound of Music, you love trivia. But it's shocking the lack of knowledge you have about like things that everyone knows, like the fact that you didn't know Thor is somebody, but you can dig deep and name like all 7 Sound of Music children, which is like, I'm sure like my mom can do that, but she probably remembers that movie from when she was a kid. How old are you? 27?
Yeah.
So there you go. So all right, 3 for 3, definitely. Even though I needed help.
Did your mom know all 7?
No.
Oh.
She got 4, I think, same as you. But that you get still, you're 3 for 3 in questions right. Like you need help with like the last 3 children, but I set the bar at 4 out of 7. Next, and I'll give it to you within a year. If you're within a year, I'll give it to you. How old is it sounded like someone just tried to break down our window. In case anyone,
yeah,
I don't know
the
if
wind
that
is crazy.
It's definitely the wind. Hopefully, could be Sasquatch. How old is the youngest child?
I think she's 5.
Dead on. So my mom said 7, which wasn't even within the 1 year. My dad definitely guessed, said 4. So yeah, dead on 5. And then this is easy if you're a Sound of Music fan. How old is the oldest child?
16.
Right, that's the song, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, 16, correct. Dead on. Amazing. I'm dead serious. I'm actually impressed. Now someone's actually trying to break into our apartment.
Are they?
For
Go
sure.
check.
Someone just hit the window and they're just coming in. Well, we're in the middle of a podcast, so we'll figure it out after. We'll see what damage is done. If this, by the way, well, it won't get uploaded, I guess. Shoot. I was going to say, if we get murdered, like, here, then, like, pass this along, let us go viral, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not even it's just going to be on my computer. Who's gonna, if someone finds this when the police come, then maybe they can upload it.
That's true. Maybe they'll figure out who did it.
Yeah. So, all right. I need to pull this up too, but I'll ask you the question while I'm pulling it up. Can you name 5? That's setting the bar kind of low because there's a lot of options. 5 of Maria's favorite things.
Raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles, warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings.
5.
I mean, I could say the whole
I know. That's why I figured it was easy.
That was
now,
5, right?
You can do the whole song?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, here's the little follow-up question, which should be very easy for you. Little bonus specific question. It's a meal that I ordered with you in Brooklyn.
A meal you ordered with me in Brooklyn?
Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's one of her favorite things.
Oh. It's like schnitzel or something?
Think of it. What, you know all the lyrics. Give it to me in context. Give me the actual full thing.
Is it Wiener with schnitzel?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
God, you know nothing
I need to
about
sing
this
this.
movie.
Oh my goodness! Let me sing the song.
Go
I
ahead.
can sing it. It would just take me a while. Can you cut this out? Like it will take me like minutes. I need
Why?
to
It's
sing
the
the whole
second
song.
verse. Continue from there.
All right.
Brown paper packages tied up with string. These are my favorite. Good. I'm gonna have to cut it out now. Not even near the mic.
Schnitzel with noodles. Schnitzel with noodles.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes, correct. That's it.
And warm woolen mittens.
By the way, Julie Andrews is a fucking babe. What year? How old is this? She's a babe, right? Young Christopher Vaughn. What do you think about that?
Not a fan, but that's okay.
Yeah, okay. That seems mean. So back to real life, sort of. So you already got it is based on a true story. So back to real life. Oh shoot, this is unfinished. My questions. We're gonna have to improvise the last question.
What?
Not this part, but the next one. So back to real life. It's a true story. They fled Austria because Hitler was coming, right? That's like part of it. So they fled to the U.S. Do you know what state? I have a hint
They
for
fled to
you.
the
that I'm gonna-
US.
yes.
I thought they just fled across the border.
Nope. Maybe originally, but like
Right,
the actual people fled from Austria to the U.S. and they settled in this state.
Vermont.
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Because the Von Trapp, there's like a house there.
Yeah, you knew that? Mm-hmm. So I looked this up in case you're wondering. A little fun fact
Yeah,
for
I know
you.
all about it.
They moved to the... You know all about it?
All about the Von Trapp place in Vermont, yeah.
It's a ski lodge now.
Yeah.
But they originally, that's where they lived. And then the husband died 12 years after they fled Austria, by the way, which like isn't that long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he like flew. He's also much older than she is.
Mm-hmm.
So they went. He died, and her and the kids decided to expand the house into like a hotel. Have you seen it? It's fucking.
I have.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
You've been
really
there?
nice.
Or no?
No, I haven't.
It's beautiful. Like it's awesome. I just saw it today. I was looking at pictures, trying to come up with trivia questions for a movie I've never seen. But yeah. There you go. That's the last trivia question. Now, the last piece, I was going to come up with a talking point or something, and I didn't, so we're just going to have to go with it. The last sort of piece of this episode or whatever is Jimmy Kimmel will be hosting the Oscars for the second consecutive year. I know you're a big Jimmy Kimmel fan, and like I was going to try to figure out something to talk about with him, and I didn't. So I read, there's some like controversy over whether or not he's going to talk about all the Hollywood sex scandal stuff, because he said in an interview that this isn't about that. Like, This whole thing should be about people who are trying to win Oscars for the first time, and then that caused an uproar. And he's like, "Whoa! I didn't say I was going to talk about it. I just said that's not what it should be about, or something." So like that's a talking point about him. Well, you know what happened last year, right? With the final card, or no?
No.
So they announced that somebody else won, and then they're like, "Wait! That was a mistake." Moonlight.
Oh no.
And they like give it to someone else.
I
Remember
kind of
that?
remember that.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. So Jimmy Kimmel is like really I know he's gonna make a joke about that too. The question is like which one comes sooner? You wanna just riff on Jimmy Kimmel real quick? What do you like? Is like viral videos and stuff?
I
No,
just
I'm not-
like his show.
Don't
I think he's funny.
give me a stink eye. It wasn't like putting you down, but I feel like that's what's popular about him. Like you like the everything he does, but
yeah,
it's like
I think
videos,
he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
I like his interviews.
Have you ever seen, now I'm sure you're familiar with The Man Show, right? With him and Adam Carolla?
No.
Really? That, and I'm not even insulting you on that. I think that's very typical of people who like Jimmy Kimmel. He was on this Comedy Central show, which I'm sure most people, I just assume most people know because I do, but I bet you more people who are big fans of like the Jimmy Kimmel show like almost like separate it or forget.
Well, we don't have Comedy Central.
Now this show was on like 15 years ago.
Oh.
But so it was Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla. It was a big show. Like, and they literally had like a recurring segment where it was like girls in bikinis jumping on trampolines and like it's in slow motion. Like, so the boobs are all over the place. And then they had, a bunch. It's more clever than that. It's actually really funny. But they just did things. It was like the Man Show. It was like kind of like their gimmick or whatever. They actually had a really cool, one of my favorite videos ever, which is funny. Do you know what women's suffrage is? Mm-hmm. Like the women's right to vote, but it sounds like suffering. So they went out into the boardwalk and they're like, "Can you sign this petition to end women's suffrage?" And like did like all this other literally there's this whole video and people are like, "Of course, yeah, it's terrible what they're doing," and like everyone's just signing it. And it's like a really funny video that it just sticks out in my brain. But they did things like that all the time. Like honestly, very similar to what he does now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really funny, The Man Show. And then before that, he was on a game show with Ben Stein, who you said you've never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? Which I can't even like put into words how much that upsets me because it's my favorite movie of all time. Like, I feel like you would put in the effort just for me, if nothing else. But Ben Stein is one. Have you seen? You haven't seen it, but if you know the thing where it's like Bueller, and it's like that monotone teacher like doing attendance roll call, or no?
No.
All right. Well,
don't cry.
I'm going. It just really upsets me. It's my favorite movie. My senior quote, my yearbook, everything. Like, I've seen that movie probably 100 times. And it's not even like the best movie. There's a difference. It's my favorite. Like, I'm very familiar with it. It's relaxing to me because I've seen it so many times. It's just my favorite movie. Yeah, I think that'll wrap up the show. Jimmy Kimmel. I meant to come up with a talking point, but I forgot. That's the rawness you get out of a podcast like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed. The Oscars, obviously, are on ABC Sunday night.
The Academy Awards.
Yes, the Academy Awards. Now, this actually is a question. I was making fun of you, but I think... And I said this to you before, but I'm not even sure. I think they're technically the Academy Awards, and the trophy you get is the Oscar. Someone could look that up for me, but I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoy this. There will be a much more serious, I'm sure it'll still have jokes and stuff, but much more like serious recap of the Oscars with a couple of movie buffs. This is my fun preview of the Oscars with Monica, who's a movie buff, right? Like you're super into. Mm-hmm. So, and there's value to that. So for people who don't know, I'm not even going to plug it because whatever. MMAMad.com. I have a podcast there too. And Monica did this Outside the Bubble sort of recurring segment where she's basically came and watched someone punch someone and is weighing in on MMA conversations. There's like an entertainment value to that to provide something.
Okay.
Yeah. And you did good on the Sound of Music trivia.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please tune in after the Oscars. We'll also be like live tweeting the Oscars, I think, as well. So if you go to Disorderly ENT on Twitter, you can find us there. But the disorderly.com, go to the website immediately after, or YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's quick, it's easy. Give us a thumbs up, whatever. It helps us a lot. We're sort of like your mom and pop entertainment shop right now trying to build this thing. So, all right. Take care, guys. Enjoy.
Bye.